Valley's next.
Tonight, assault on the West Coast. The most powerful storm there in years batters homes, floods roads, and knocks out power to hundreds of thousands.
It's devastating.
John Blackstone is on the scene. Oil drops below $60. Falling fuel prices amount to a pay raise for many Americans. Anthony Mason has the trickle-down economics. Vanita Nair on a new Cosby accuser. A former supermodel who tried out for his sitcom says she wound up instead in a real-life horror story. And Deborah Patta on the battle to save a majestic beast.
We've reached a tipping point now in South Africa where rhinos are being poached faster than they can breed.
This is the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Good evening. This is our Western edition. Well, the West certainly desperately needs the rain, but some places got a lot more than they could handle today. The most powerful storm in 5 years flooded roads across Northern California. Parts of Sonoma County got more than 9 inches. At times, the wind reached hurricane strength. On Mount Lincoln near Lake Tahoe, one gust was clocked at 147 miles an hour. In the Bay Area, trees, crushed cars, and more than 370,000 homes and businesses in Northern California lost power. John Blackstone is there.
The wet and windy storm hit most of the West Coast from Central California north to Washington State, where houses in the town of Washaway Beach were washed away. One of them belonged to Tom Peterson.
I was hanging barely on the edge yesterday, and now it's completely over. So it's the done deal.
Kayakers took to the flooded streets of Healdsburg, California. Hurricane-force winds churned up huge waves on Lake Tahoe. In the San Francisco area, sustained winds of nearly 80 miles an hour knocked down trees. In Santa Cruz, an 80-foot-tall tree fell on an elementary school student. He suffered a likely broken arm. Among the trees brought down by the storm is this huge oak that fell on my neighbor's house this morning. It blocked my driveway, so I had a tough time getting to work. Many in the San Francisco area decided not to go to work. Traffic lights were out across much of the city. Major roads flooded, and public transit disrupted. The cable cars shut down, with buses taking over the routes. Most schools were closed, so the Ludwig family went for a walk in the rain.
I thought we were just going to watch TV all day, but now the power's out.
It's kind of a unique experience sort of right now.
Totally. They've never had a power outage.
More than 100,000 customers in the San Francisco Bay Area were without power. Georgia Virgili lost most of the conveniences of modern life.
I didn't have power. I couldn't get my car out of the garage. I have no food. I have no cash. And so I'm trying to forage for something.
Flooding from this storm could have been much worse, but after 3 years of drought, the ground soaked up much of the rain. And the reservoirs have plenty of room to catch the runoff. And that's a good thing, Scott, because this rain is expected to continue through the night and into tomorrow. And more storms are on the way next week.
John Blackstone in the storm tonight. John, thank you. A nor'easter dumped as much as 2 feet of snow on parts of upstate New York and New England. The big coastal cities were spared, but inland towns got hit hard. Downed trees knocked out power to thousands. The slow-moving system will clear out tomorrow. Today, oil closed at the lowest price in more than 5 years, less than $60 a barrel. That means Americans with more money to spend on something else. Here's Anthony Mason.
The holiday shopping season kicked off strongly in November. Retail sales jumped 0.7% as plummeting gas prices helped put money in shoppers' pockets. But not everyone is happy. ConocoPhillips, our third largest oil producer, said this week it's slashing its investment for next year by around $3 billion. That's 20%.
The U.S. is a net oil importer. So that means if the price of oil is falling, the positives outweigh the negatives.
Carl Riccadonna, an economist with Bloomberg, says a 1-cent drop in the price of retail gas typically adds about $1 billion in spending annually. And gas has dropped $1.08 a gallon since the end of April. In the past, OPEC has intervened and slashed production to raise the price. But this time, led by the Saudis, it's held back.
Why are the Saudis not cutting production?
Saudi Arabia can inflict some pain on a lot of these economies. Their rival, Iran, for instance, and also their newly emerging rival, which is U.S. domestic production.
Oil production here has soared more than 70% in the past 6 years, spurred by new hydraulic fracking and horizontal drilling technologies. But the cheaper price could make it too expensive to extract.
To this point, we haven't seen a significant impact, but we're right about at that $60 per barrel level where things start to get a little bit dicey.
Rick Adana says we haven't seen a bottom yet, and some analysts believe oil prices could hover in the $60 to $70 range, Scott, for a couple of years.
But Anthony, at some point this starts costing jobs in the oil economy.
I think it could be pretty soon, Scott, if prices hover here for long. But remember, it also is a huge stimulus in the rest of the